Y'all were here last in like April, right?
Yeah.
So that was right after Lovely Little Lonely had come out. So how things been different touring it like right after it came out versus touring it now? It's like 6-ish months later.
Yeah. I think we feel more comfortable with the songs just because we've like played them a lot more and
Totally, yeah.
it feels like they're a part of the set list now as opposed to like, oh, here's the new one, you know. So I guess it just feels more like natural in that way, and people have had more time to sit with them. So.
Yeah. Do you have any more comments?
No, he's right. It really does. It feels more natural now.
Yeah, cool. So I was listening to a couple interviews over the last couple of days. I'm doing a little more like interview prep and stuff, and I saw one that you guys had done where it was kind of like a behind the song, like story behind the songs kind of thing, and John had mentioned that I think it was Black Butterflies and Deja Vu originally had like a very reggae kind of sounding chorus, or very stabby kind of guitars, and then it changed completely. Are there any other songs that have undergone such like a wild transformation from concept to release?
There's a lot. I mean, Taxi.
Yeah, totally.
It was very different. It was very like fast and upbeat.
Really?
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else.
Yeah, well, and Reverie kind of had a different vibe going too. That one was definitely a different makeover in the studio.
Yeah, I mean, like that kind of stuff happens a lot, and I think that's what keeps it like exciting for us, because like when you work on a demo for so long, then when we go to record it, if we like totally change it around, then like it feels like almost just like a different song.
Yeah. Another interview I saw, John had mentioned that he gets very seasick, and so with that being said, is like a tour kind of like a cruise tour thing, like kind of out of the possibility for you guys because of those kinds of things, or a cruise is a little different. I mean, maybe do like Warped and Sea and stuff like that.
No, I think we would do it. Yeah. We haven't had the opportunity yet for that, but we would do it.
Yeah. I don't think.
Yeah. He'd get past it quickly.
Yeah, get him like one of those patches behind his ears, some shit.
Take that car sick medicine, whatever it is.
Dude, okay, so speaking of kind of like, I guess, Warped on Sea and Warped Tour, they announced just earlier today that this would be their last Warped Tour. And I don't know if that means they're going to settle down to one location rather than doing the tour thing or what, but how do you guys feel about that? So, I mean, y'all got...
It's crazy.
It's definitely wild, man. Yeah, end of like an era. It's...
Yeah, I mean, I think to me it feels like... it's been such a part of the music scene that we've been a part of, and a huge part into why that we're where we are today.
Yeah.
So it's like it's
just the opportunities it's given so many
sad
people
to see it go, but I think I understand why, and it's a lot to do every year, and it's a lot of things, and I think Kevin's at a point in his life where it's just not what he wants to do, and that's totally understandable.
Of course, he's been going doing it for 20-something years now, right?
Yeah,
big part of his life.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting to see, what comes along and tries to maybe replicate somewhat same concept and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I mean, it's a big change,
What are some of y'all's?
Sad to see it go.
What's some of y'all's favorite Warped Tour memories? Because y'all played a couple times through. Y'all went before y'all were able to play and stuff. So, like, what are some of y'all's like best memories from all those years?
I mean, it's hard to pick out super individual things, but I mean, it's just the overall experience.
I think when we played the first time, playing it's like something that you've gone to your whole life as a kid, and then to be up there on the same stage that I saw like Under Oath on or something is like.
Exactly. Being a part of it in that way for the first time was totally we're here. And it's wild. It's been such a staple for us, and allowed us to work hard and make things happen for ourselves.
Yeah, is it kind of like a somewhat like you said, kind of a surreal feeling to have gone to this thing for so long and then play at it, is it also something like a whole different level of like, like surrealness where it's like all these bands that you did watch, now you're touring alongside them just on a national tour?
And you meet, and that's kind of the environment there, is everybody's in it together, and so you end up meeting all these people that either you looked up to or have heard about, or in all these ways, and it's a really it's a crazy cool circus.
Yeah, and so kind of going back towards songwriting and just recording in general, when you guys are, like you said, going from a demo to what things end up being, like how, because I know like when you get into something and you write something and you're around it so much, you're like, man, this is great. And you take it to someone else and they're like, nah, we had to change a lot of stuff. How much of other people's feedback do you take in versus just trusting yourself to say, like, even if you don't get it, you'll get it in a second, you know, and especially for fans and stuff too.
Yeah. I think it depends, and we go through different phases. Like we go through different phases of, sometimes we don't want any feedback and we're just going to do whatever we want, and then sometimes we're so close to it that you need some outside perspective to see what song should be on the record and stuff.
I think we've also gotten better at being objective in our thinking about what we're writing and putting out, and being able to judge it ourselves too, and trying to do that at least.
Yeah, I mean, we have,
sometimes you definitely need outside.
We have people like Colby Wedgeworth, who's done our past couple records, and we have people that we trust a lot that really understand what we're doing, and at times can pick out the better parts of our band that we have a hard time seeing because we're too close to it. So it's definitely like the collaborative nature of the music has definitely benefited our albums a lot.
Yeah. And so speaking of, I guess, collaborative things like that, saw something where most of y'all's albums up until Lovely Little Lonely had been kind of like band in a room, y'all just write the stuff, but this one it seemed that John kind of made the tracks like himself on a computer, and then kind of brought them, and then you all filled in the spaces and stuff. How much different was that process like for you guys as the,
I mean, he's been he's the
that's kind of
songwriter.
Been the way it's been.
Yeah, songwriter. I guess he just made things like sound a little nicer. I guess I bought him a bunch of recording equipment so he could like make things like sound a little.
Honestly,
better.
in the past it was a very similar setup, but it was coming off of an iPhone.
Oh, really?
A little audio recording. And
so you're telling me I could record the next Maine demo right here, right now?
For sure. We can do it right now.
Yeah, come on, start playing.
Yeah.
Make a beat.
I think a lot of the whole time is a lot of, been revolving around, a concept that he'll bring up, and then it takes, its final form when everybody is contributing.
Yeah. So, I'm sure you guys had heard, but there was like a shooting here at Masquerade a few nights ago, and the headliner that played the next night ended up canceling their show, and very understandably, but I guess I was kind of wondering what goes through like your mind when you see something happen like a few days before you're going to be there. Like, was there a process where you thought like you might have to cancel, or just what goes through your head in that situation?
We just took the information that we got. It was related to people at the show and not the area, and just basically we went off of what the venue kind of sent to us. And so I think it's more so when it was deemed safe, we were like, obviously we want to play. So
honestly, I mean, really, it's just a matter of like it felt like an isolated.
Yeah, exactly.
Incident.
That's what I mean. Like, it didn't feel like
it felt like an isolated incident. We felt like it's a safe thing for our fans, and things like that. As long as we're
not putting any people in danger.
Things like that,
of course,
happen everywhere and anywhere.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
I guess the fact that we're here close, makes you think about it more, but it's really not much different.
Yeah,
just things happening. Yeah.
So is there like? So there's nothing really, or is there something that goes into like coming into a place like this after that's happened, and you guys have all this information and you feel safe, but like you know that you're like, I know like a lot of fans are still gonna feel a little bit unsafe. They're, you know, a lot of them are younger. Their parents feel kind of weird about them coming and stuff. How do you like during your show or just overall? How do you try to help your fans feel just continue to feel comfortable and whatnot?
I think the environment that our fans generally just have with them being friends with each other and all that stuff, and getting there and waiting in line and hanging out with each other, I think that itself is like a comforting thing for them.
Yeah, the culture we have around, I think
for us, you know, like with the venue shirt is that, you know, there's extra security and all these things, and then, you know, I think for us it's just a matter of like, we just need to, you know, have those things in place, but then besides that, just carry on, you know, and just the fact that we're continuing, and that in itself, I think, is a comforting thing, that it's just going to be a regular Maine show, you know, we're just going to go out there and have fun. So.
Yeah.